What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and videos, pics have all been released that changed a little bit of the story with THOOD and Rasheeda and Kirk's daughter. So, like the video's intro plays, this stuff just got released a couple hours ago, and it's a lot.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense.
It makes sense.
Make it make sense to me intellectually.
It makes sense.
Make it make sense. You know what I'm saying?
Big moves. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things in your dream. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
You got pretty legs, man.
Oh man.
And they lanolated.
Man, listen,
I mean,
I'm back working out.
You put shea butter, jerky.
Oh, you see that?
Okay, so if you have been a subscriber for a while, you know we used to get into the morning videos. They might be coming back. I have a lot going on today, but this is deep. We had heard there might have been some DV at the point of the unaliving. We hadn't seen any images. Well, now images have come out that shows that this man was abusive towards his girlfriend. But before we even get into those, we're going to go a little bit out of context, because I saw this video and at first I thought this lady was kind of crazy, but now I'm thinking she's making perfect sense. Because if we're going to take anything from this, because it's messy, it's crazy, they're alleging that there was threesomes going on, drugs, violence, that the man had already been pow-powed earlier this year with his mistress. There's a lot that we're about to get into, but I want y'all to think about what she says first.
Black Americans are fully responsible for what happened in T-Hood. You guys did that. All of you.
First, I thought she was crazy.
You guys are all trying to put it on that boy that he went in there and did that. No, you guys did. You know how you did that? Because you go around, you constantly shout out loud, don't call the police. So when that girl was heightening that boy's nature, I believe she was heightening his nature.
That's not the point that I agree with her with. The point was, we are kind of like programmed not to snitch, not to rat, don't call the police. But the first thing people were saying in this situation is, why didn't she call the police? So I want to show you guys this. This is from the young man's sister. She says, I honestly don't care about these old videos. He didn't go to jail on none of these days for this. Turn on the sound, post the time and date that green shirt is at Ebony House right now. That was not the day of the shooting. This is the point. We as his family don't condone DV. That's why we told you to call anytime you call. I get it. You're the family. You got to protect your brother. But listen very explicitly to what she said. Explicitly. Sorry, it's early in the morning. I honestly don't care about these old videos. He didn't go to jail on none of those days for this. But at the end, she says, we as his family don't condone violence. That's why we told you to call anytime you call. Do you see how crazy that is? Of course, he didn't go to jail for this because you trained her to call. Anytime he was violent towards her, you trained her to call them. So of course he wasn't going to go to jail. The lady who just said that was spot on. We are taught not to report things. We are taught to be scared to reach out to the police, or, you know, you call the police on the black man, you don't know if that man is going to make it out alive. So you just contradicted yourself. Of course, the man never went to jail for this because she knew to call you guys first. And then later on, you'll see in the messages where it's saying, why did you call us? Why didn't you call the police? You called us before you called the police to let him know that the boy was murked. Well, that is what she was trained to do. So what happened is well, this is them during happier times. I did a little bit more research on him. He is more of a local Atlanta rapper. He's not necessarily mainstream yet. He did, I think, some things with the Millennium Tour when that was going on. But for the most part, he's a local Atlanta rapper. Her friend came out this morning and she tagged the Shade Room and she tagged Hollywood Unlocked, and Hollywood Unlocked jumped on it. This is what she had to say.
I would like to send out my love and condolences to the people that have been affected. I don't condone violence of any kind. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to mess anybody's image up. I'm just here to speak my truth, what I've experienced, and basically speak up, because everybody's doing the most, and it's a lot of clout chasing going on. It's a lot of narratives, it's a lot of rumors, and I guess everybody's a detective. So, you know, and if y'all don't know what I'm talking about the K Frost and THOOD situation. So the baby mom reached out to me, since Kay is my best friend, and I just want to show y'all her messages, point blank period. And I'm just gonna show y'all what the sister said and what the baby mom said. Hold on. So y'all remember the sister actually coming out saying that Kay supposedly set him up. Well, I got messaged with the baby mom basically saying that she know personally that Kay didn't set him up, because Mr. Kirk personally told her that.
Okay, let's read this. But the thing is, I feel like me and Kate really do not have any ups and downs. The first time we ever met was at the barbecue recently. The only reason I know her family don't be involved is because she told me that Kevin and her brother got into it before. Kevin being THOOD. Kirk told me the night of that he washed his hands of the situation, basically. But when she called him, he knew that it was something serious. So, you know, people are going to look at this and say, Kirk is wrong. How do you wash your hands in a situation where you know that your daughter is being, you know, she's in a domestic violence relationship and the man is even fighting your son? Let me tell you this much. It is an extremely sticky situation to be in, because if you see somebody who is being abused, the average person with any kind of heart is going to want to step in. They're going to want to intercede. But if the person is not ready to leave their abuser, they're only going to go back. And then the abuser is usually able to make you look like you're the problem. So it's an incredibly sticky, horrible situation for anybody to be in. So I can't say, you know, as a father, you would think that you want to protect your child, but if your child is, and we don't know if Kelsey is also on drugs, but that's what the family alleges. It's a horrible situation all around, and somebody then got beat, and then somebody then got murked. But when she called him, he knew that it was something serious, because she don't call about and Kevin, since they know that she wasn't leaving right there. They know that she wasn't going to leave. It is effed up, though. I'm not gonna lie. I couldn't imagine being her right now.
He don't get involved because he know that his daughter's not going to leave now. And here you go right here. Before I start this video, I would like to send.
Let me go to the one on Hollywood Unlocked. Here we go.
For a very long time, off the sake of the respect that I have for my friends, to not actually let people know her business. But they done took, his family has embarrassed him for, you know, this is the things he used to do to my friend. This is something that I had to hold in for a very long time.
Okay, so again, we can't YouTube. I learned during the Diddy trial, so we can't show you on YouTube everything that he did to her, but I can tell you what happened, and you can kind of see. She was just laying there. He walked in and just started pummeling her. For the sake of this channel, we can't technically really show you that. But this particular girl, who was the best friend, had photos and images that her friend shared with her of the abuse. She says, y'all, my friend was asleep, and this is what he came in the room and did on some random these are just images of some of the abuse. This is very telling. This text thread, more so in context, is extremely telling. This is to the mom. Your son putting his hands on me. Can you have someone send an Uber for his belongings? He's not going to be able to come back here anymore, and I would like to Uber the stuff to y'all while he's OTW. Her response is, okay, thanks. She's not saying, are you okay? How did he harm you? Is there anything else I can do for you? She's saying, I am a victim of domestic violence, and his mama, the only response is, okay, thanks. So that should put you in the mindset. She's trained not to reach out to the police, but instead reach out to the family so that they can contain him. But she does that to no relief, to no side. Like, this is absolutely disgusting. Your son is putting his hands on me, and your only response is, okay, thanks. She goes on to say, and this is also Kelsey, no problem. Thanks again for everything. You're thanking her. Do you see how warped this is? You're thanking her for doing nothing to help or support you through your abuse, only consistently protecting her abusive son, who we later find out is being accused of doing way more than just wet. Apparently he's on quote unquote something new, which, takes him into a whole nother headspace. Allegedly, that's what they're saying. But this right here in itself is extremely problematic. Your son is putting his hands on me, and your only response is, okay, thanks for allowing me to get his items out of my house. She says, hey, I'm not fond of anybody breaking my belongings or nothing. He's rude, pushing me, slamming my doors, trying to pop my car tires, ripping my cameras out the wall. Nobody is helping me when it comes to him being domestic. And that's the last one. So we don't know it specifically. To the mom's defense, we don't know specifically what she said to that, but just based on what she said at the top, where your son is putting his hands on me and her only response was, okay, thanks. I can't imagine the next set of text messages is going to be her showing any kind of love and concern for this woman who's getting beaten. It says, I don't care about nobody falling out with me either about this. Honestly, this showed me a word of mouth without hearing the full story. Could have MF or switching up on you in a heartbeat. I don't trust anybody. Y'all clearly see my friend not even hitting this man back, but y'all trying to paint her to be a monster. Get the F out of here. I don't care what nobody has to say. I went days watching y'all paint a narrative of my friend for clout. Nobody, once again, what I showed was not to expose him. It was to let the world know how y'all trying to paint her is not what it is. It definitely was to expose him. I mean, we're just going to call a thing. This was to expose him, but a narrative was being painted of her. So I don't disagree with the friend showing us these images and videos. My friend loved that man, and nobody have the answers of why they couldn't leave each other alone. But at the end of the day, the real know what's up. So can y'all just stop for real? I would have never said nothing, but y'all was dragging him. She didn't lie. We got 1,300 in the chat. Definitely hit the like button. Mims, my handsome YouTube boyfriend, thank you for always bringing us the facts and tea. God bless you. Thank you. I appreciate you, Empaths, Raps, and thank you for being a member for 8 months. Y'all hit the like button, share this video, and if you have not already subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. I mean, we need to do a members only. I'm just getting back into the swing of the consistent videos, but we need to do a members only. So if it isn't this weekend, it can be next week for sure. But yeah. Okay.
Before I start this video, I would like to send out my love and condolences to the people that have been affected. I don't condone violence of any kind. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm not here to mess anybody's image up. I'm just here to speak my truth, what I've experienced, and basically just speak up because everybody's doing the most, and it's a lot of clout chasing going on. It's a lot of narratives, a lot of rumors. And I guess everybody's a detective, so you know. And if
y'all, I hope that she's protected because based on what I'm seeing with T-Hood's family and then his fans, she might need a little bit more protection, honestly. And that ain't even me being, that's me being dead ass with y'all. People, especially when it comes to somebody, a family member who they are really in the media fighting hard to push the narrative that he was the injured party and she just released this. I pray for her safety, this girl.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the K Frost and T Hood situation. So the baby mom reached out to me since Kay is my best friend, and I just want to show y'all her messages, point blank period. And I'm just gonna show y'all what the sister said and what the baby mom said. Hold on. So y'all remember the sister actually coming out. His baby mom also told me that she knew and she was aware that Hood was on something new. He was on something new. And the person that he would do it with is Sydney/Vanessa, and she has gotten on her for doing that with him because he don't.
Let me give y'all a subtitle. So basically, Sydney Vanessa is the mistress who later gets accused of also sleeping with Kelsey. This particular girl brought a different type of drug into his life, a drug where he allegedly can't control himself.
Act himself when he's on that particular drug. And I have the message that I'm gonna show y'all that too. Here you go. Her basis.
She said, I have no idea. I thought that was an auntie or someone until I saw her story. That's the only reason people are feeling away. Nobody has anything against Kay. When we were at the hospital and she voiced the dynamic of their relationship, I told her that she should get out of the situation. So you now have another person who is the baby mama who Kelsey is saying, this man is putting his hands on me. He was also on something new that I never knew of, but I noticed changes when he was coming around and I wasn't going for that. I'm not letting you do any and everything in my house. So I feel like that's one of the main reasons why he really just stayed away. And that's another thing that I have gotten on Sydney about because I think that she's the reason that he did start. So that's the Sydney Vanessa girl who is the third person in this relation. This is messy. This is some for real. This is messy. Messy stuff don't usually end up with somebody getting murked, but you get the point. Now, this is coming from the baby mama, but later on, you will see that the family believes part of the issue was that Kelsey was not letting T-Hood's kids come to the house. Now you're seeing from the baby mama that she noticed that there was different type of drugs and she wasn't letting him in her house. So the plot thickens. Maybe Kelsey was not the reason why T-Hood wasn't allowed to see the kids, and maybe the drugs were. But Kelsey is getting all of the heat for this. Now, don't get me wrong, Kelsey was annoying. Like I told y'all on Love and Hip Hop, she was annoying, but this is deep.
Saying that he was on something new and that she noticed changes with him and that she had to get on the girl Sydney/Vanessa because that's who she think that he did it, how he started it. So come on now, like she told me all this. His baby. So y'all know Hood got shot Glenwood weekend from the same girl that he does this new drug with, and they allowed her to even be at the candlelight and funeral. But I'm gonna show y'all and let y'all hear of what happened in April, Glenwood weekend, late April. She's gonna tell you. I'm gonna show you. Hold on.
Okay,
I can't let y'all hear this because every other word was the F word, but I'm paraphrased. So basically, T-Hood's family has talked about all of the very positive things about their son and brother. But T-Hood was going into another hood, allegedly to get drugs with this Vanessa girl. And he was putting his hands on her in that hood. So get this, the people in that hood told him, they didn't tell him to stop beating her. They told him to take the Vanessa girl and beat her somewhere else because they weren't with seeing it. Again, nobody's calling the police. So this man does not have a criminal record, but multiple people are saying that he is putting his hands on multiple women, including the Vanessa Sydney girl who allegedly is sleeping with him and Kelsey. So yeah, this girl, her story was, it was too filled with explicit, like it was cursing the entire way through the video. So she says, trying to help that Mutt 304 Vanessa is why my friend got shot. I can't say about case situation, but the first situation, I know facts. I'm at the hospital with it, and I just said none of these months, but this ain't what y'all finna do, bro. So you are not helping the situation. You're calling Vanessa the 304 because she's the problem, when he's also putting his hands on her. So it seems like a running theme with this whole situation that the problem is always the woman. But when you really look at it, you got Kelsey not calling the police while he's putting his hands on her, going through the parents and the sisters who are also defending him, Ubering his stuff over to their house because they know he's abusive. So why is the 304 Vanessa the problem? Why is Kelsey the problem? It seems like the problem was drugs. It seems like the problem was domestic violence. And it seems like the problem is families on both sides who enable the behavior. I told y'all this was, I really wish I could let you guys hear this, but every other word, like if you would, we would definitely need subtitles, and they would all say FFF SHIT. Like we can't do it, not on this channel.
Where was the home?
She also went on to say that all these people are looking for clout because when he was in the hospital, when he was shot in April, we're talking what, like 4 or 5 months later, he's also shot again. Nobody was there for him. So she feels like everybody was a clout chaser. Again, in defense of him.
It's not real life. That shit is. You did know it was going to happen. Yes, you did.
And that's on that. Y'all can pretend and try to threaten MFers through social media all y'all want, but other people dealing with consequences of other folks' actions still to this day. Opinions are opinions, but facts will always be facts. You know, that's a mighty only. Part of the reason I was looking at her crazy was that's a big ass nose ring she got.
So y'all just seen the video of the girl explaining what happened with the Vanessa / Sydney girl. Okay, he was shot. He was shot a couple times and was in the hospital for 2 weeks, y'all. Nobody really came to check up on him, but my home girl, and you know what I'm saying.
The reason that he got shot in the first time was because he was in somebody else's hood, allegedly to buy drugs, and he was beating on the Vanessa girl, and the people in that hood didn't want to see that. So that's why they were blaming Vanessa. Vanessa was getting her ass beat, but she's still being blamed for him getting shot a few months back. I can't.
None of his niggas for real. Only just a few, probably a handful. And I just don't understand why everybody not going hard and was riding for the niggas that shot him the first time. And y'all allowing this girl to be around. Like, y'all weird. It just seems like y'all clout-chasing because who my homegirl is. Because where was this energy when he got shot in April? I'm just trying to understand. And I'm going to show y'all a picture of the girl that was at the candlelight. They got him shot. The girl with the cigarette is the girl.
To her point, if Vanessa is so bad and Vanessa is a 304 and Vanessa then got him, you know, pow only a couple months ago, but you allow her to go to the vigil, Kelsey would not have been allowed at the vigil, his actual girlfriend. Why was this particular woman allowed to go and show her respects?
Vanessa / Sydney that got him shot.
Now, she did wear a tube top. I mean, God did say, come as you are. But if this was your man, why are you wearing a tube top and some flip-flops to your man's memorial service? She ain't even got a picture with his face, a shirt with his face on it.
So it's very weird that she's able to be there, okay? Mind y'all, she was a side bitch. They got her ass whooped by him. Did you see that girl leave from alone? No, you clearly see her at the candlelight. So make it make sense. Why y'all trying to say why she didn't leave? Why that girl? So y'all just seen the video of the girl explaining what happened with the Vanessa/Sydney.
Okay, so now the family is back at it. She says, show the date and time on these videos. Show outside in the dirt driveway where he got shot 7 times total. Y'all feed into the videos if you want to. It's a distraction to the fact someone died at their home. Someone got murdered over overkill 5 times in the back. Show that date, August 8th, 7 p.m. Now again, Kelsey had said when she was talking to the mom about her domestic violence that the man ripped out her surveillance cameras. So he's beating on her and ripping out the surveillance cameras. So if Kelsey and them come back and say the surveillance cameras were broken, she's already established that in the first couple of clips that we saw, he ripped out her cameras. The family is saying, well, these domestic violence videos are old. We don't even know if she still has a camera in the house because he was astute enough, even in his alleged drug use, to destroy the camera evidence. She says, don't show him in a coat when we in 98-degree weather. The videos might be old, but I still don't blame Kelsey's friend for adding to the story and giving people context since this is all being played out on social media. She says, dang, shit looks ugly as F. I do not condone domestic violence, nor did I know about any of that. Why you ain't called the police for your friend if you were so concerned? Why you didn't call the police on your brother if you knew? We just heard the other sister say that we told you when he's doing all this to you to call us. Now the other sister is saying, I had no idea. So who are we believing? Because they're contradicting themselves. Or did they just send you them videos? I would have been said something. Shit, right is right, wrong is wrong. So your mama and your other sister didn't tell you that she was calling and she was told to call them every time he was putting his hands on her so that they could, I don't know, level out the situation, mediate, or just come get him. But either way, she was not told ever to call the police. Frosted K, I want to unalive some for real. So they're saying that this is proof that she planned this. If there's cameras all over the house, show the camera footage of the day of the shooting where he was leaving because she wouldn't let his daughter come over. Post the date and time this video took place. It gets very tricky when you're talking about domestic violence because in no way is it okay for somebody to get beat because they did not let a child come over. Maybe the child couldn't come over because he was allegedly on drugs and was prone to do anything. You get what I'm saying? It gets really, really tricky when you want to defend somebody's domestic violence abuse. And if you have evidence that he could not let his daughter come over, wouldn't you have dropped it when you dropped this?
He was taken into handcuffs. I told you that was wrong. I don't condone that shit. I don't give a fuck whether or not. Like, I hear what y'all are saying, but y'all, like, you can't, like, I don't condone that shit. It's more to the story, so I don't.
Well, I don't understand how they would let him out if
you had text messages to show that the issue started because Kelsey wouldn't let THOOD's daughter come over. Why didn't you drop that? It makes me feel like maybe that is just your thought as opposed to there being undisputable proof. She says, post the date and time of this video took place. It don't matter when the video took place. It does not matter. We now see that there is a history of her being asleep in the bed and him coming in and just attacking her. She says, you stayed with him after this. That's part of the problem. We know now, we on this channel at least have gone through all kinds of cycles of abuse, and we oftentimes see that victims of domestic violence stay with their abuser time and time again. And typically sometimes don't leave until it's too late and they're leaving in a body bag. So now she's saying, I bet you can't pass a drug test right now. So that's when the allegations start about Kelsey and her drug use. It says, I honestly don't care about these old videos. He didn't go to jail for none of these days for this. And we talked about this at the beginning. If you're just coming in, the family kind of trained Kelsey not to go. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me go back here. The family kind of trained Kelsey not to go to the police. And this is how we know. At the very bottom of this page, it says, we as his family don't condone domestic violence. That's why we told you to call told you to call anytime you call. So that's setting up a pattern. So Kelsey consistently has been trained, call us. We don't condone the violence, call us. We'll help in those situations. So it's a contradiction when she goes back to say, I honestly don't care about these old videos. He didn't go to jail. Of course he didn't go to jail, because she was calling you to either diffuse the situation, to come and get him. But the problem is, if you are constantly diffusing the situation with somebody who's allegedly on drugs and beating their girlfriend, it allows space for them to go back on drugs and beat their girlfriend. You then become an enabler and a crutch. You're not fixing the situation. You're putting a Band-Aid on it. And if Kelsey's also a drug addict as well, and they allegedly, according to them, and they do drugs together, and then he beats on her, you are adding to the cycle. You're not fixing anything. And you have just contradicted yourself. So in some of these situations, you're losing credibility. Of course, he didn't go to jail. There was no space for him to go to jail because she's calling you. She even was trained to call you before she called the actual cops after she saw he was shot. But now you are vilifying her for calling you when you set that type of situation up. I told y'all this was going to be an early morning mind F. This is disgusting, but this is real life. We see this all the time. I saw this man beating his girlfriend on the way when I was going to my friend's housewarming party. He lives in the hood, and it was this couple walking, and as the dude was walking, he was slapping the out of the girl on the street. He don't even have a car, but he can beat his girlfriend. And I know it ain't right. I know my family's going to be mad at this, but I stopped. I stopped my car. I told him, I asked her if she was okay. He told me get the F out of there. I don't know. I saw my mom doing it when I was young. And I'm probably going to keep doing it. I didn't get shot. I didn't get hurt. I told him that I was going to call the police if he kept hitting her. Probably was stupid, but I did it. We see all this. We see this, people call this hood love. This ain't hood love. This is just, call it what it is, domestic violence. And if you're doing it on the street, slapping some woman every few steps in the back of her head, you're probably doing worse at home. They said you did all this to have him killed and go on your page and say you love him and how you would lay with him the same night. It gets messier. Tevin and I's relationship was fantastic. He was down to earth and upright, amazing. Him and Kay's relationship was horrible. They were using drugs together and should antagonize him. So this person is somebody who used to be in a relationship with him. I'm just gonna put this out. This is some ignorant bullshit. Just because you didn't put your hands on this girl does not mean that was the relationship that he should have been in and whatever. What this establishes is that you probably never really liked Kelsey. So you stayed in contact with another girl who he was with. And potentially, just like Kelsey never came out and said I was getting beat, the other girl could have also protected him and also didn't say she was getting beat. But anyway, I'm gonna correct it as we're going because she is also sometimes a little bit nonsensical. Him and Kay's relationship was horrible. They were using drugs together, and she would antagonize him. She meant that, but she said should. And from that video, looks like it was from last year during cold season. And only time I've known, she said non, but she meant known. And the only time I've known Tevin to allegedly put hands on her, she broke his necklace with his father's ashes in it. That gives no right, though. If he was harming her so often and lived with her brothers. If Kelsey broke this man's necklace with ashes in it, he should have left Kelsey alone. What you in this statement are doing is, again, giving him an out for putting his hands on a woman. Even by saying it and then saying that gives no right, though, it's very see-through. I mean, again, not the most cerebral. If he was harming her so often and lived with her brothers, why did nobody ever not call the police? And we just kind of reviewed that. This girl was trained to call his family. She didn't even call the police when he died. She called his sisters too. Again, that's what she was trained to do. It seems like she never was going to call the police through all the abuse. Since his cameras everywhere, released the videos of that day. And then it says she broke his father's necklace that day he died. Okay. Do you all see how crazy this is? Let's connect these dots. This girl says the only time that she saw or she was aware that he had beat her was when she broke the father's necklace with the ashes in it. Well, if you break in the necklace and releasing ashes and stuff like that, there's only one time that can happen. But the sister is saying that she broke his father's necklace the day he died. So was he just going and re-upping on ashes? Like, was this a thing that happened more than once? That doesn't even make sense. Our relationship was never physical. Why are y'all posting all these things now? If he was such a monster, y'all know what y'all did, and God don't like ugly. From another girlfriend. She might have been another mistress, and who knows? It's about to get even messier. So I'm not going to sit here and let y'all create some sick narrative of me. I never want him hurt. This is from Kelsey. I'm sorry. T-Hood's family speaks. So no, I'm not going to sit here and let y'all create some sick narrative of me. I never want him hurt or call anyone to get him hurt no matter what. We always got through anything together. And now I'm alone in this. Again, that is indicative of somebody not calling the police. I never called anyone to get him hurt. So we were talking the brothers, and we're also talking the police, even though she was being physically abused. I will keep speaking my truth for my baby. He was leaving, and he should still be here. I love you, baby. Please come visit me and take me with you. I can't argue with all of you, and I don't want to. Y'all will hear pick and choose what you want, but I don't want this. Ask for it, call for it, set up, or ask for anything. I would never. Stop playing on my name. Real ones know he wouldn't approve. At this point, I'm feeling sorry for the brother. Because if the brother stepped in to protect his sister from an abusive man who everybody knew was abusive, and your focus is this alleged dead drug addict who was putting his hands on you, at this point, I'm feeling sorry for Kai, because Kai's life is about to be effed. And that's just plain and simple. Kai is about to go through it for you, who has already exposed via a phone conversation with T-Hood's mom that your brother was the one that did it. Your focus is your abuser, not your family who potentially were the ones who had your back. We already saw in one of these clips that it said that the brothers had already gotten into it with him defending you. It says, if it's videos in the bedrooms, it's videos of the outside. Show August 8th at 7 p.m. Show the video when Kai came. Don't show nothing old. DV is not and will never be okay. Don't show a clip. Show it all. We saw a video where he came into the bedroom when she was asleep and beat him. That's just like those videos where you see a cop doing something and then you see all the people saying, well, I want to see the full video. They must have done something to antagonize the cop. That's what that feels like to me. The video is a distraction to the fact that Kai was never in custody or in questioning at all. So now they're setting up a conspiracy theory that Rasheeda got so much money from Love and Hip Hop that she can pay off the police. DV is not cool. We are not condoning that. But however, since we have that, can we see the footage of that day? Where's the video of the reason we're all watching the murder? If they all lived together, why wasn't it a proper court arrangement for him to move out? If y'all knew that was going on with the video footage, why not call the police before August 8th? First shot's supposed to be a warning. Second, you hit your target, but 7 shots is a lot. But again, we don't even know if there is video footage because according to Kelsey in the thread with your mom, he was destroying the cameras. He was destroying the way for people to see that he was beating his girlfriend. T-Hood's friend speaks. I know it go both ways. They probably were fighting each other. That's a problem in itself. They probably were fighting each other. If you don't know, maybe don't speak on it. Somebody else says Kelsey is on hardcore drugs. Know her folks paid to get this posted so it won't go in his favor, but God will prevail. Won't show the whole video though. Won't show the text. Won't show how she threw his deceased dad chain at my show one time and threw it out to the wolves. Won't say that this week, this ain't no DV. This is a homicide and this video is old. So this is not domestic violence. We're not. I'm not even saying that Kai is absolutely innocent because we don't know. I'm not saying that at all. But the fact is, you see the video, you know your friend is violent, and then you still stand 10 toes down that we, the public, are not seeing what we're seeing. It adds context. It's not the only context. If, you know, Kelsey might be the type of person who throws out your dad's ashes and stuff like that. All the reason to leave her, not beat her, leave her alone. The video don't change. He got on a sweatsuit and that's old. So that's the narrative that is being pushed now. What I'm saying is it don't matter if it's an old video. She put her hands on him several times without moving a muscle. Let's talk about it. Great. I mean, domestic violence works both ways. A woman should never put their hands on a man either, but you're not giving us any context. Oh, trust I know, Tev, my little cousin. They really playing with this narrative. So-and-so almost shot his sister in the face shooting at Tevin. It's all going to come out. Now, that part was a little bit eye-opening. So if somebody is just shooting wildly, that almost does paint a picture for self-defense. If you're not even aiming at your target, we're going to need to see some photos. Is Kai beat up? Were there cameras in there? Because you can't just say it wasn't self-defense. You can't just say it was self-defense. We're going to have to see when all the evidence comes out. But I do not believe that Rasheeda has so much power in Atlanta that she'll be able to hide her son indefinitely, clean up an entire murder scene, and him still get away with it. The truth is going to come out. But I definitely needed to see this context because this is a lot. Connecting with other artists. She mad at blank. Hate everyone who say hi to me. I'm over that. I used to have fun with the city. I don't have to blank everybody. Some people be cool AF. And I know not to blank for real. So mad at Ajanay. DF. Nay was always been a good friend. Really loved me her whole life. So I'm assuming he posted a message from THOOD. I'm not quite sure why he bleeped out that he was calling girls bees. Like, that's weird. If your friend, if that's the way your friend talks and you're choosing to put out a text thread, shouldn't you just put it out? As opposed to, you know, crossing out those words. I guess that they felt that made him look better. Blank said they was always putting her hands on him, and he used to tell me she was always the aggressor, then cried wolf when he tried to defend himself. Like, come on. The only person she showed was her friend, and would tell the parents or the mom and the sisters to come get him. So who is she crying wolf to? The mom clearly didn't care. If he's such an abuser, why is she the only female saying that? His baby mama ain't even saying nothing like that because everybody knows Tevin was a gentle giant. I guess this is what your friends are supposed to do. I guess that's not the kind of friend I am. Y'all know how I feel about dudes who put their hands on women. I don't know. I told y'all this was extremely messy. Let's talk about how he begged me not to walk her ass at Candyland that night because of what she did. Let's talk about it. Facts or the one where under his eye was black and blue from her punching him in the face? Show the pictures. Show the pictures. Since video's coming out, let's see what happened that night of the shooting. We want to see everything since we know there's cameras there. And by the way, I don't condone DV, but if I knew all of this is why you... But if you knew all of this, why you never spoke up? And since we got HD videos in the crib, show the videos from August 8th, the day of the incident. Y'all, they're turning this into a whole conspiracy theory. It says, I guess Rasheeda then paid all the bloggers to say that Hood was a monster, running around beating on Kelsey, LMAO, and y'all believe it. If you have not started at the beginning of this video, I would actually suggest that you do that. If you are new to the channel, please subscribe. If you're not new to the channel, hit the like button. We went through it all, and at the end of the day, Kai's life is ruined. T-Hood's family is going to be grieving because they lost a son, and you know, we can say what we want, but a lot of people stand by their family no matter what. So in that situation, I don't even necessarily blame them for sticking by their brother and wanting answers, because a domestic violence situation, and now we got death. So it's really a lot of people's lives have been affected. The only person not saying anything is Rasheeda. I don't even know. So we're gonna keep following this, but everybody kind of lost in this situation. And if she in fact was putting her hands on this man, then she's just as much a part of the problem. However, right now, we don't know that that's true. That's people who are his friends and family who are not producing any receipts. Do what her friend did. Produce the receipts of his black eye from where she did it, or produce the receipts where he sent you video of her attacking him. But for the time being, all we know is you were hitting on women, and now you're gone. So I'm gonna see y'all a little bit later if anything else pops off, but y'all have a good day. I told y'all this was a lot for the morning.